Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're continuing the Land of the Lustrous manga with a set of chapters. I would like to finish the volume. That's I guess my overall goal here today and get a little bit more momentum. I feel like we're lagging behind a little bit sometimes, so yeah, let's try and get a lot done here today. Now that I hope, fingers crossed, that a lot of the big revelations are done, at least in the short term, and we can start executing and stop theory crafting and just go a little bit more. Either way, the best way to go is to start with the YouTube comments here. First one here from Iwayuru. This first paragraph here is a little bit like, I could tell you about stuff, but I won't, so it's hard for me to talk about any of it. I will say it is interesting me coming at this from the perspective of somebody that is consuming no other additional opinions or media as I'm reading this thing. I'm not on a subreddit. I'm not in Discord discussing it with people, like-minded individuals. It's just me and my takes on it. And again, for better or for worse, it's going to be a unique experience, again, relative to most other things that I would consume at the time of consuming it, if that makes any sense. I'm consuming as it comes out, I guess. And yeah, part of the reason for these YouTube comments is for this kind of stuff, where you can come back and say, remember blank? We actually do that a little bit down here as well, which I'll bring up some examples, of course. But point being, don't feel the need to always interject with stuff in the moment. I have a pretty good memory. You can always, again, write down literal pages and things that I should go back and look at with additional knowledge. Like, that's a way you can do this, I guess. So again, if something big and important thematically comes up later, and you want to relate it to something else and some other additional concept that you want to bring up in that comment, then do that when it comes up, I guess. Don't try to forewarn me and, I guess, spoil the experience. But I don't think people would do that regardless. There is a little bit of near in this, I will say. Something large time scale, something things that aren't human desperately trying to be human long after humans are gone. Spoilers, I guess. Yeah, but both Automata and Replicant are being represented there, I think, pretty well. And again, if you are a fan of Land of the Lustrous and its content, maybe give those games a try, because they're hitting on similar themes and go some interesting places, especially Automata. Like, it's pretty good. I too liked our little Admirabilis Queen story. I hoped that she returns one day. That would be nice. And again, continues to remind me that this show is funny. This story is funny. And yeah, it's never too serious for too long. We're going a little bit deeper on something that I thought was... I threw away a little bit last week. Probably wasn't the right move. I guess the idea of Foss remembering something and it feeling right. I really like this line here. You might forget what you did, but what you did that led you to who you are still remains in you. Even if you forget the specific thing, again, life is a, sequence of choices that lead you to who you are. So there's point being, you will always kind of think that makes sense. That's the piece that falls into place. Deja vu even. Yeah, you see what I mean there. And it's probably one to keep in mind going forward as, I guess, Foss continues to change. Lafos, as we're calling him now, I guess. I like this as a nickname too, but I'm probably just going to stick with Foss if I'm to be real. I'm starting to see the point of Cinnabar as a character. The point is the tragedy. The point is missing the forest for the trees. Again, you're searching... What was the point of this journey to begin with? It was to try to, do something for Cinnabar, make Cinnabar happy, when in reality, it's sent you down this rabbit hole. Cinnabar just wants a friend, like, pretty clearly. Somebody to do something with, and not just be alone at night. And again, as I said before, losing the forest for the trees and that somewhat. Yeah, I went back and had my little edit with this. I'm seeing what the good acting part is, how much of it was acting, how much of it wasn't acting, who were we acting for, was I lying to myself, how does Carnarvon really feel about all of this? Surely, again, pretty big character going forward. We're going to imagine a lot of that stuff's going to continue to bubble away. So we're not going to dive in too deep. And I believe another comment later talks about this a little bit more and just explicitly says, hey, make sure you get the volumes that you already have because there is stuff on them. So I can't help myself. I'll just look at them if I get them. So I can wait. I'm reading it on my computer. It's fine. I mean, yeah, I got it. I don't know if I underreacted. Yeah, I got that part for sure. Yeah, it is hard to comprehend for me considering timescale stuff. But how long has this thing been going on? We've been grinding them all into dust. They're literally in everything, and it's a I can't go back moment. Foss is literally like the remains of Foss's friends is sinking through his fingers. Yeah, I was with you for sure. For me, it was less that part of it, which I thought was, yeah, whatever, fine. It was the whole idea of people coming back was never going to happen. We were fed this false promise the entire time that we could even bring people back. What does that mean for Foss? Foss is almost, again, upon this revelation, forced, in my opinion, into following whatever this prince guy has to say, regardless of if Foss actually wants to follow it or not. That's just, again, how else are you going to get back? Nobody gets back, man. I think there is something in this word beautiful, though. It comes up a lot. Foss said himself was beautiful upon the whole upon the whole Lapis face thing, so is there some idea of vanity and like need to be attractive tied into all of this? Something, kill, maybe. Again, I think we've got enough themes to deal with without tackling that one. So here we have some references to previous chapters, and we call them out specifically with, chapter numbers and stuff, which I like. Again, just stuff that I probably would have remembered a bit better if I didn't just skim the first part of the manga again. That's on me. So again, that's more to the point of I was very surprised when they were livestock when it was literally said in the text, man. What are you talking about? I guess I get the answer to my question here as well. My major question coming out of, and I thought that this was going to be plot relevant, but my major question coming out of last session was why doesn't he pray? What we justify here is that he can't. He's broken. But then I don't see how punishing something that's broken is going to fix anything, unless you want to shock it into him again. But I don't think that's how machines work. And if he's a machine, then he's a machine. I don't know. Have you tried talking to him? Have we tried talking to Adamant and seeing what's actually going on there? Again, it's almost like he can't, right? That was the whole thing. He can't tell anybody but humans all these secrets. He's like not meant to. So he's almost like forced based on his programming into not being a particularly helpful person. I don't know. Again, I'm going to read the thing. I'm going to find out that question a little bit more. But again, if it's less of a plot thing and more of a, something off to the side that needs explaining like this, then that's fine. There's a couple of pages we wanted me to go back and check. This is one of them in chapter 39, but I'm tired of praying. Again, from memory, this was Foss talking. Yes, correct. We can see Sensei go to pray ever so briefly, and then it doesn't work, I guess, or he doesn't pray. He tries to clasp them together and this shit don't work, it brokey, I guess. And next one is in the wake of the whole game board stuff. This does bring back memories. I thought I put this away somewhere a very long time ago. This game wasn't created with a specific purpose in mind. That's why I was always at it for so long. We never thought about what would happen to things when they reached their end, did we? He sees himself in this, or at least reflected. Not like he's not literally the game board, but he's a thing that has reached its logical end, and the people that made him didn't consider that. That's fun. I like that too. Look at this though. Would you disappear for me? Oh, that's very kind of you. Did it disappear by itself, or did he pray it away? I don't know. We'll never know. What happened with Shiro? I forget now. Did he pray Shiro away? What even occurred there? Anyway, can he pray? I don't know. He probably can't pray considering the context of the comment before. And yeah, that was a long comment. Doesn't really help with me getting a wriggle on, but most of it was pretty interesting, I thought. This one was just my fuck up from memory. I didn't know this either, and I did some research. Yeah, the moon probably very likely formed from our Earth. Something, a very, very long time ago, something hit the Earth, crashed, molten debris came out, formed together to make Moon. So the Moon is technically made up of elements of Earth, which was kind of my question, right? If we're all kind of minerals and gemstones and stuff, then isn't the Moon kind of that as well? The answer is yes, pretty much, yeah. I don't know what I thought. I thought it was just some other heavenly body that got caught in the orbit or something. I don't know. I'm no scientist. And last comment here from Capella. This was the paragraph I was talking about purchasing the volumes. Again, also saying that there is at least one volume that is worse than 7, or at least like 7, with Foss and Lapis Head and stuff. So steer clear, basically. So this is pretty nifty if you go to these specific pages that I may or may not put on screen if I feel like editing them there. You can see the Moon become more and more full as Foss kind of solidifies in his kind of want to go there, right? That's pretty fun. That's a great way of using like the cycle of the Moon to kind of demonstrate a character's thought process and them deciding something. I don't know. It's almost like it's fiction or something. It's almost like it's a well-told story. Next paragraph here, we go into a bit of the subtext, which I probably glazed over last week. Foss doesn't want to go to the Moon. Would rather not. Would rather Sensei say what Sensei is actually doing and be honest. The tragedy is that from Sensei's perspective, he can't. Whether or not Foss believes that or not is kind of irrelevant. It's like, okay, if I'm not getting my answers, and almost like my purpose, my drive here at this point is to obtain answers, then I'm almost forced to do this, despite our love for each other, right? I love Sensei. Sensei says he loves us. It's this kind of grand tragedy and inevitability to it all, right? Yeah, pretty cool. Next one here, and we're talking about, I guess, the architecture of the Moon and what it would actually look like. With Capella here wondering if it was like a multicolored thing as opposed to a pretty drab and, you know, stone smooth kind of earth base, I guess you would say. Again, they say that they want to make the city beautiful. The city's constantly changing. It doesn't seem like it would be that stationary and that one colored, if you know what I mean. As we say here, I'd love to see it animated. I'd love to see it even colored. I think that would be great. Okay, I'm happy somebody's talking about it. The prayer machine reveal and Sensei's actions, I guess. Bringing up specifically here the board game, the stuff I saw before, would you disappear for me? That's very kind of you. Sure. Shiro also apparently similarly disappeared, but Sensei said that Shiro found peace. Okay. Are you dysfunctional or not? Specifically, if you want me to get specific, what's the difference between Shiro and the board and everyone else? They never used to be like human, right? Is there something specifically about a human soul that's different there? Because Shiro is implied to be like a dog or something, I think, right? Something similar, at least. Or here we say that potentially Sensei appreciates something disappearing for him as opposed to him having to do it for them. So, again, humans can't, or like Lunarians can't do that for themselves. Why can the board do that for itself? What? Okay, that's clearly more needs to go on there. I'm kind of in the middle in the story of explaining that kind of stuff as well. And yeah, through here we talk a little bit more about the Buddhist side of things, enlightenment, reaching enlightenment, wanting the cycle of life and death to end, reaching some kind of end point. What the Lunarians are hoping to accomplish is somewhat similar to that. They don't really reincarnate in that same sense, but they still want this cycle to end, whatever cycle they're currently in. They kind of just come back to life. I think that's the vibe, because we kind of sliced the prince guy in two, and he didn't really seem to care. So, again, you want to achieve an end point. That's the whole goal here, I guess. What role does karma play in that? Is Sensei responsible for that karma in a sense as well? Other people praying for you, does that mean that you've had a positive impact on their life to the point where they will pray for you and help you to achieve enlightenment and help you to pass on? Is it fine for a machine to do that for everyone as opposed to people doing it for other people, but they don't even have a chance anymore because all the humans are gone? So what's the end point there too, I guess? Like, A machine for prayer seems counterintuitive, is the point. You don't want a machine to be doing that. You want to have impacted somebody at the point where they would want to do that for you in your afterlife. Again, in an ideal world, I don't know, post-apocalypse be damned, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, I'm yapping. I need to read, otherwise I'll never read. So what do you say that I just get on and start reading? I think that's a good idea. Yeah, Land of the Lustrous, the end of chapter 54, right there. Moving on to the next one, chapter 55, Curse. Now, catching us back up, I feel like the background is like fading out as we're doing this sequence. Yeah, we can kind of see it here. It's drooping more and more. The costumes that we got kind of put on us by the oil, was it oil or goo of the moon or whatever, have kind of started to dissipate. The whole veneer that we put up in that scene is starting to go, and we're getting to the heart of the issue and whatever the proposition is from our friend the prince. Now, my thought last week was that this is going to involve some kind of addition for Foss. It may also be, hey, if you could do something to shake up the machine, if you have any ideas, what does the machine care for? Have a bite of this, you're going to get some new additions. Also with the thought that Foss has that sword on the volume cover. So, keeping that in mind. 2, are you going to go down there and start doing bad things to get a response out of Sensei? Who are you willing to sacrifice in the process of shaking him up, I guess? I don't know. We'll see. Let's read Curse. And very quickly, Foss eats the moon cereal. Very cool, with a hearty chomp. I do like this moment of contemplation. I think that's quite funny. And the surprised look in our friend the prince's face. But yeah, like kind of, handing a spoon, like, what's the vibe here? It's almost giving me like Forbidden Fruit vibes a little bit. Garden of Eden, Original Sin. You've done something where you can't take that back anymore. I don't know, tying that explicitly into humanity is an interesting idea too. I know that we're not really dealing with the Christian side of it. It's more Buddhist, but still. What do you think? It's sticky. Pause. I see. The hour is late, but I would like to continue our discussion. Come this way. I wonder what Foss is thinking. If Foss is taking this all at face value, obviously the Lunarians have traditionally just been the bad guys, so you are conversing with like the leader of the bad guys right now as well. And I don't know, if I'm just like reading into this traditionally, he's always got this kind of princely, above it all kind of clothing on and persona on. I don't know. I don't trust 1940s capitalist guy over here is the point. That's normally shorthand for a villain type. Is Foss going to believe this is what I'm getting at? Either way, the name Congo was chosen because it means the hardest substance in the world. What is this pool? Some kind of pool nightclub something? We're having another little espresso martini here. I'm sure you already know the machine lives up to that name. Destroying it physically is nigh impossible. Its exterior is made of something called pure artificial hexagonal diamond. Okay, seems like basically like the most indestructible material that was available at the time of its construction, considering its importance to, whatever was going on. Put it this way, I would imagine that the Earth was pretty aware that it was about to, or life as we know it was about to end, right? If there's been 5 impacts or whatever there was, and the 6th did us in, then, I don't know, we're probably looking out for that next impact is the point. So hey, let's make this thing out of something that can last. To think the interior would break down first, apparently the humans didn't give thought to the future of their creation, no consideration at all. Yeah, okay. So yeah, again, under the impression that it's broken down and that he can't pray. What does it mean when the inside of a machine for prayer breaks? I don't think a component's broken. I think he's grown a conscience about it all. Again, we need to talk to Sensei about it pretty clearly. I believe your world has no machines because of some emotional scarring that makes Congo unwilling to advance civilization. It would help in keeping the machine's identity secret as well. So that's why they haven't advanced beyond that point. And that's why the Lunarians have advanced beyond that point, because they want to evolve. It's almost like Sensei is purposefully holding us back a little bit. Incidentally, we have not succeeded in synthesizing pure hexagonal diamond here. For your reference, allow me to tell you some of what we have tried to provoke Congo in the early stages, and we'll continue. But this kind of shot made me think that this was pure hexagonal diamond or something close. With the manga's focus on minerals pretty explicitly as well. What's that sword going to be made out of? Have we spoken about that yet? Obsidian, something? Do we already have obsidian? I don't know. Some kind of hard metal is what that sword's going to be made out of, and something probably exclusive to the moon. Either way, we're going to learn what we have tried to provoke Congo. We went through a semi-perpetual cycle of the basic pleading, discussion, persuasion, attack, groveling, and threatening suicide in front of him. So he's locked in, he's not falling for any of that shit. That's funny. Okay. So we have talked to him, or at least tried to, and he's just said no, basically. We tried convincing the gems we kidnapped to work with us. Almost every single one of them either self-destructed or lost its mind. Foss doesn't seem like the type to lose his mind, though, so we'll see. Sometimes we would return the gems in that state, but when they failed to show any further movement, we retrieved them again. So that's pretty fucked up. That's just using the gems in your scheme and not really caring about their personalities. That's pretty shit. I wonder if we can identify some guys here. I wonder if we spoke to some of the older gems, they would have any stories here. Did we ever see anybody return and were they all fucked up and weird? That could be a route we go down for sure. We manufactured synthetic gemstones to look like you, but they never gained autonomy. So how does a gem gain autonomy? We kind of explored that a little bit in the past. They kind of grow out in a field, and sometimes they gain something. Like out in near that mountain or whatever where we were with Angtak when we found the gold. This is where the gems were born, or whatever they said there. So again, we still haven't been able to replicate the place where those gems will gain autonomy, I guess. We saw no results after we dropped them on your planet, so we retrieved them too. We made composites of your kind and synthesized gems, and the outcome was the same. Apart from those single-shot attempts at high stimulation, we have, as you are aware, occasionally returned pieces of gemstones, though never enough to complete any of you. Those pieces were all synthesized. Yes, we're aware of that for sure. Foss is definitely remembering things though, and how fucked up this all is for sure. As of yet, that strategy has had no effect. There's a strong possibility that the broken Congo has not realized that those fragments are imitations. The clothing you see us wear is part of our strategy. We take the form of entities that Congo should bow down to. That's interesting too, for sure. This brings us to our mid-stage strategies. As long-running projects, we make our moon sparkle with fragments of all of you and display it for the machine to see. Immaculate. How disgusting. Boo, we hate this guy. Fuck you, the prince. Yeah, I feel like this is a piece clicking into place for me. I'm like, why do they look like that? That's why they look like that. That makes sense to me. So Shiro was part of that as well, because Shiro kind of looked like a god-type guy too. So he doled Shiro up a little bit and said, hey, go down there and see if Sensei prays for you or whatnot. See if we can't, like, trick him. I don't think he's going to fall for that. Anyway. Again, even if he can, I don't know if he's broken or he's refusing to. I don't know. I don't know if I should know that or not. Anyway. I'm going around in circles. This guy's being a cunt. Next. What was that giant life form? The one you dropped on us? You mean the dog? It was something that Congo once cared for. The device must not have had permission to prey for non-humans when it died, so its components ended up here. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. Because he did seem to recognize Shiro for sure. The device must not have had permission to prey for non-humans, so when it died, its components ended up here. We took them, and after much hard work, we recreated it into what you saw. Okay, so I guess that explains it. And then, I don't know, Sensei said that Shiro found peace. I guess, no, they would continue to pursue the dog-like strategy if they knew that he got prayed for and went away. I don't know, how would they know that? Do they have... What are the parameters of their experiment? What were those little bitty things with eyeballs The molecular geometry puzzle game, like the dog, Congo seemed to care for it very much. In the end, it sided with the machine. Okay, so that's what it did? Can you pray yourself and then it kind of disappeared? Or, I don't know, he just disappeared? I don't know what that thing was. Now, the doctor, I want to hear about this. What was that thing called, the doctor? The human female that created Congo. Okay, nailed it. Good. We tried to recreate the woman too, but what you saw was the limit of our current technology. And it... For the record, it's the most we've seen Sensei like all fucked up about it, right? It's the most it's emotionally moved him. So if we continue to pursue this line, it's probably worth looking at, I think, right? I don't know. Can you bring that doctor back and keep working on it? That's what I would do. You see, all of our plans have failed. After all is said and done, we are those who received no prayers when we were human. The wretched remains of what was already trash. With our fragmented knowledge, we can't do anything right. I guess there is, yeah, that's a line too, for sure. Because, okay, humans, when the big split happened or whatnot, right, you could either get prayed for and fuck off and be fine. Cool. Not kind of doomed to the moon for eternity. So maybe somebody's down there praying for you when you're dying or whatnot. And then these are the people that are left that nobody prayed for? So they're kind of the people that nobody loved enough to do that? Or didn't have that stronger connection? Or weren't karmically good in the previous life either? Maybe that's where they're all cunts now? I don't know. It's worth looking into. I don't know, I'm fascinated by that, I guess. At least they consider themselves the remnants, and there's a lot of self-hatred as well as the hatred that they're projecting onto Sensei as well, and all the terrible things they're doing. There's depth there is the point to the prince and his movement. As we can see here, further contemplating what he just said, it truly is, it feels like his cross to bear. And here we go. Oh, don't tell me you're getting down on yourself again, my prince. I don't know, you seem... You seem pretty happy to slip into the role of monarch. I don't know if I like this prince guy. I feel bad, a little bit, but not too bad. I still think he's kind of just a shithead. Oh, now the crowds are coming in. Come on, what's past is past. Don't you get tired of being depressed? There's always next time. Let's just cheer up and move on. Uh-oh, my prince, you're drinking again, but you can't hold your liquor. And that's a strong drink too. Excuse me, Gemstone. You were picking on our prince, weren't you? Cut it out. Our leader is very sensitive. If our prince really felt like it, you would seriously be dust in less than a second, so don't get cocky. Why are they turning on Foss? Foss didn't do anything. Okay, I mean, this prince guy has a lot of love from the Lunarians around him, I guess. So that's pretty chill. Now, stop being rude to our guest. Go away. And they're boo, boo. Are they pelting tomatoes at Foss? What is this? I think that's in the background. I thought they were pelting tomatoes. Boo. Anyway, this fucking guy's depressed still. This is another interesting question, but I do like this up here. Still a lot of character with these Lunarians. Seeing them on their home planet, home moon, it is kind of fun. Just, again, out of battle mode, actually being able to talk and emote and stuff. Again, very much remind me of the Gems, I think purposefully, right? The relationship between these two, they're very protective of their guy, we're very protective of Sensei. It feels like this guy loves us for us. It feels like Sensei loves us for us as well. Connections, of course. But yes, why do you want to be nothing? Are things so bad the way they are? Yes, apparently. I think it's this eternity problem, right? There's the fact of no end, and as we were talking about before with the Buddhist stuff, no enlightenment, no eventual, you're finished. You've finished growing, you've finished reincarnating, you've achieved blank. You can be finally at peace, or whatever that means, right? But again, we'll see what his justification is. I want to set them free as soon as possible. What, the people around you? Okay, no, he continues. Okay. They may look like they're happy, but they're forcing it, and they're exhausted. We go to sleep at night, wake up in the morning, eat, defecate. Me too, man. For sure. Converse with, settle disputes with, love each other, and fight with one another. Constantly fighting the angst that comes from never progressing, taking what little comfort we can in finding imaginary problems, all in a never-ending cycle. All that begins is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped. I don't know. Yeah, pretty pointedly, this also sounds like humanity. I don't know. That these are all the things that I do, and the big existential questions that plague my mind as well, especially this one. Imaginary problems. All the things that matter to me are really insignificant in the grand scheme of things, and kind of grappling with that is difficult sometimes. And I'm sure people can relate. And again, there's no higher purpose than that. And this guy's like wokeified to the point of thinking that almost like, is he assuming? I don't know. It's a it's a cycle. There's a psychology to this for sure. Of like, yeah, you could be happy in one sense, but are you like overall fulfilled with your existence, right? And what is the point of your existence, right? Are you just existing to exist, or what are we doing? Is the point? And it's a hard one. And again, I think everybody needs to grapple with this on some level, and I've just learned to live with it. You just find new things, right? The value you ascribe to whatever little impact you have in the grand existential scheme of everything, whatever kind of small things in your frame of or sphere of influence, right? Whatever those small things are, you have to like care for them, because who else is gonna? I guess. I don't know. I guess I get what he's saying, but I just learn to live with it. I don't know. I don't know. Again, he's clearly a character that's pretty, you know, he's a big thinker, I guess, the prince. After wandering through eternity, these natural human tendencies are an agony that no longer suits us. Yet for some unknown reason we cling to them, we cannot fight them. It is a terrible curse. We must get Congo working, and quickly, and then he's about to fuck off. And again, you could read into this, right, where it's like, he says this because he's getting too real, you know, and Foss realizes this as well over here for sure. It felt like the power dynamic shifted in the conversation a little bit, and you got very vulnerable here, where you were very much in control and wanting to put on a front of power very early. Foss is good at that, continuing to dig and find out what's lying underneath everything. You caught yourself here, which I think is a good scene too. Like, just like, I caught myself being vulnerable. Okay, night grows old. Let's fuck off. Let's get out of here. I'm conflicted about the Lunarians. On some level, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm a human and I have to deal with all this kind of stuff, but I didn't really consider this. Natural human tendencies no longer suit their form, right? We need to drop these tendencies and progress, even if that progression is into disappearance. Because I feel like I'm almost like don't match my body with what my actions are doing. I feel like I'm like instinctually forced to do this rather than it being the natural thing for me to do. It feels unnatural, something feels wrong, something feels off, I want to change it. I'm very happy we got like pretty concrete motivations for these guys now and what we should consider going forward. The question now remains, what is Foss going to do about it? Look how insignificant Earth is up here too. Pretty sure that's on purpose too. Yeah, what's Foss going to say? Is Foss going to agree? Foss definitely took a bite of the goo before, so, you know. We prepared a room for you in that tower. My kind sleeps in the mineral oil, but I doubt you would find that very pleasant. Get plenty of rest. If you need anything, please let us know. Oh yes, I should have pointed this out sooner, but that is the planet you came from. We're actually pointing at the thing I said. Okay, here's a question, and it's not as crude as it sounds, and it's kind of random. But do these guys fuck? Do the Lunarians have kids? I don't think they do. I think that's something that's been reserved for the Admirabilis. I think that was their vibe anyway. Yeah, I don't think these guys have gender in the same way that the gems have gender. I don't know. Point being, like, a big answer to this grand question of existentialism has always been procreation, has always been, okay, leaving a lasting legacy, continuing the bloodline, these, like, grand, almost, like, needs of life. On a base level, life proliferates, right? And in the process of doing that, I find purpose. And in the process of teaching another all these things that I have learned and imparting that knowledge and being a teacher in my own kind of right, that is part of my purpose, to be alive. And again, it's neither here nor there. People have definitely seen that that is also just another need that we have, like the needs that he's listing out here. He does say love each other, but does that mean kids? I don't know. Point being, the Admirable is going to help with some perspective in that regard. Again, being this part of the kind of split that is, I think, procreating and like having generations of people and dying and whatnot. Oh, this is interesting too. You are the one who will save us. And then Foss was just kind of gazing at Earth and then is caught off guard by this. I could feel it. We kind of get a bit of wind flowing through his hair as well, which is kind of, I don't know how that works on the moon, but I digress. I feel like it's a different look at his character design. He looks a lot more honest and kind of truthful here. It's reflecting this kind of stuff as well. Like, we're cracking through the layers on this guy a little bit and seeing what he really wants, what he really believes. Does this feel like the kind of guy that would trust a hunch? He, like, never has hunches, but he has a hunch here. That's some Destiny type shit for sure. Okay, and it seems like Foss is retiring to his bed for the night. Sure. Not a single thing is anything like I expected. What do I do? The only thing I can do. Think. Okay, I think we're going to lock in with Lapis for a bit. I wonder how Lapis is going to react to this information. Again, Lapis is also me, but again, it's weird. Are we going to talk with Lapis is my point. Very notably got something akin to a lotus flower here or something on the bed, which is probably very pointed towards the Buddhism stuff too. Okay, looking at Earth again, thinking about it, insignificance. Gold is starting to seep out of my orifices. If I let my senses come back to me, I'll fall apart. Well, I wouldn't want that, Foss. Oh, okay, that is a line with a bit more significance for sure. Okay, so I've just kind of been in information gathering mode here, and this is me finally stopping and thinking about everything I've learnt and how it's emotionally affecting me, right? If I let my senses come back to me, I'll fall apart. If I think and feel like I was when I was originally Foss, I'll literally die from grief. Especially the gold, which has encompassed this very emotional side of Foss too, for sure, all the way back to the Antark stuff. So I'm literally trying to hold it together, like literally, not just in my mind. And yeah, chapter 55, Curse, end. Very cool. As Foss is left in his ivory tower to consider things. Next up, chapter 56, Synthetic Pearl. We have Foss waking up here with a glorp. Oh, this is interesting. We have a bunch of little fucking dudes here. Little shell guys. Little snail motherfuckers. And not just a few, a lot of them. Down here. Look at them all. Little snail guys. Yeah, that's cute. Smell, but they gone. Royalty? What is, sorry, it's some shell I got from Ventricusis. Oh, so it's the legs, kind of, as well? Okay. I thought when they were praising Foss, last chapter, 2 chapters ago now, it was more like, oh, this is the Foss from Legend. But it's also got to do with the legs, which is part of a monarch of the past of our people. And then it seems like we have a cheery Lunarian here, very buff, strong guy, busting through all the snails and saying good morning. What? That's pretty funny. I do think we needed a little bit of levity after what we've just had, so I'm happy we're getting a little bit more casual here. Starting today, I will be monitoring taking care of your every need. My name is Cicada. It's nice to meet you. See, I'm buzzing with this new name. Jesus. Honorable Fosbogie? Honorable Posy Posy Fight. I already have a message for you from our prince. Why can nobody say Foss right? I mean, I can't talk. I can't say the full Foss name either. Okay, and then he forgets, and then he looks at his little message. Oh, I see. Quite the talent, this one. It's a little bit incompetent. Remind you of anybody, Foss? I don't know. This seems like something Foss would do back in the day. You are to attend a meeting every afternoon at 6. Oh, but I understand. I think I haven't agreed to anything yet. In the meantime, I will show you around our Moon World facilities. But first, these are for you. What is it, weed? Bit of fucking ganja? These are pieces of your tummy, great hoss. Big hoss. You have nothing to worry about. I will repair you. No, that's okay. I'll do it myself. Oh, please, don't hold back on my account. Oh, you're a strong one, aren't you? As we can see here, kind of shaking Foss's hand as well. This guy's a Giga Chad. I kind of fuck with this guy heavy. He's kind of cool. Foss has the entourage too. Look at all the snails. This is kind of a sound effect too. That's great. I can't let you in. I said no. Does this guy have a name? Yeah, Cicada. Yeah, he's kind of holding them all back pretty good. And here we see Foss turning around. You are all dismissed. And then they all halt and immediately go away. Oh, that was amazing. And then we pause for a moment, and then it's like, oh, it's this way. Almost like forgetting himself and focusing on the snails instead of the task that's been given to him. Pretty good gear. And again, I'll reiterate, I'm very happy we're continuing to be a little bit funny again. That's good. It's pacing, right? So much media fails at this. And I don't want to point fingers, but some really, really acclaimed stuff is way too serious for too long. For sure, for sure. It just gets a little bit tiring. At least a little bit. I'm really enjoying this part, as much as the previous stuff. Also, where are we? This looks like a giant, like, pendulum or something. Or like... Okay, this is the Synthetic Gemstone Manufactory. Synthetic Pearl was the name of the chapter too, so maybe these are pearls or something. And up ahead is the split sphere high pressure apparatus for synthesizing diamond. Give me that. Oh, I can't read. Okay, so this cunt is bad at his job, and he's reading from the pamphlet as he's kind of showing us around. It isn't really the vibe. It seems like we have somebody a little bit more switched on who's walking in now. Shall I explain it for you? Welcome, Foss. And text. Let's lock in. We put a mixture of carbon and 8 types of metal in the center of the apparatus and expose it to extremely high temperatures and pressure to synthesize large diamonds. The cylinder you see past it is the seed crystal device for growing corundium? Or corundum? I don't know what that is. Corundum is a hard mineral, only second to diamond in its hardness. The cylinder you see past it is the seed crystal device for growing corundum, and beyond that, you'll see the hydrothermal synthesis device for creating beryl. Further down, you'll see the synthesis devices suited to the properties of chrysoberyl, and other various gemstones. This is like the factory where we make the synthetic versions of things that we've been using. Right? Right. Cool. And I guess this is worthy of saying, every single time we've seen people shooting various kind of, like, things that we thought were us, it wasn't us. It was a synthetic creation of us. It was a clone, if you wanted to be so blunt about it. Did that clone not possess something kind of really integral to a human or another piece of life that it could not continue to exist? What are the gems in this regard? What causes them to be different? Again, that's a big question, I think. On the lower floor, our artisans are processing the synthetic gems to prepare them for their respective applications. Poor quality, unstable gems immediately melt in the atmosphere, so we use them mainly for arrowheads and spearheads, or arrow and spearheads, sure. For the replicas of you and your kind, our best artisans process the finest quality materials into the same shape the originals were in when we harvested them. Is there a way to tell them apart from us? The originals have inclusions. We do not infuse them with imitation inclusions to deceive Congo, but they don't have the same qualities as your natural ones. Interesting. Seems like a differentiating factor here is the natural inclusions. So the originals are us. Originals have inclusions. These guys have imitation inclusions, not the same as ours. Okay, gotcha. So this makes it seem like we're actually making synthetic dudes. I didn't think that that was the vibe at all. Maybe I misread that, but we are making dudes, but they don't have souls. Are they like robots? I don't know. We're probably about to meet one, considering Synthetic Pearl is the name of the chapter. I see. Well, it sure seems like you're working hard. Again, I feel like Foss is doing a good job to hold himself together here. This is pretty confronting on a fucking human level. I'm like literally seeing them make like clones at the moment. Pardon my saying so, but I've never met such an unusual gem. You're the first stone we have met that's been so cooperative. I haven't decided to cooperate yet. Oh, I see. Noble Foss, let's move on. Next is our test site for human synthesis. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we just... You've been by far the most cooperative thus far, is the implication of this scene. It's almost like you're throwing out a part of your morals in doing this and learning all this information. Will this come to bite you in the end? Will you be the same person, the same caring person that you were before? Will you still remember the whole Cinnabar deal? That whole vibe? Anyway, it seems like we're moving on to some kind of cloud semen world. What is this? What is this liquid? Where are we? Are we in a tank? Yeah, it's almost like we're like dissipating, or we're seeing like the view from inside the tank to the outside, right? Like we're kind of wavy right there. It says humans are pretty watery. They're actually made up of 70% water. Wow. Oh, that's it. The fluttery white scummy thing. That's what makes up a human. It is semen. Kind of. I don't know. It's probably more complicated than that. So yes, this is different from the place where we're making synthetic gems. This is our human synthesis. This is where we try to make humans. Okay, fair enough. Apparently Foss feels sick at the thought. This guy's kind of resembling the shape of a primitive kind of drawing of a human, like a stick figure type guy. Is that anything? I don't know, kind of like the 2 limbs here, 2 limbs down there, and a head. Is this anything? I think that's the point of this kind of shape anyway. Apparently there's also weird music playing here, and we're going to move on and take a break. This guy's hella chill. He's just eating a fucking hamburger or something. He's eating a snail burger. Alright, he's a little bit less chill then. And Foss. You said your name is Cicada. What's the prince's name? Okay, the Honorable Acmea? Acmea? Okay, what? Who cares? Okay, he wasn't supposed to say that, but... yeah, why not? Apparently it's embarrassing to have a name. Sounds like a pain for both of you. I don't think names are embarrassing. I actually like my name. I even like my channel name, which is something that not a lot of people can vouch for. Anyway, aren't you embarrassed to have a name? We get our names after begging our prince for them, so they are our treasures. We all feel that way. This is reminding me of something else, where somebody gives people names and then they love them for it. It's another piece of media. It's something else. I can't quite think of it. I'll put it in the edit if I can think of it. But yeah, I mean, other than a parent for a child, a parent would give a child a name, and you would treasure that because of the kind of familial connection there. Is that anything? Maybe. Really? I'm surprised you all trust him so much. Of course, we love our prince. Oh, this all sounds so familiar. Again, that's what we're getting at as well. Sensei's the one that gives the gems the name. And again, that's probably the subtext here, is that you're thinking about it. That only becomes clear at this point. And it seems like Foss has realized something. Please don't tell our prince that you heard that name. Okay. Trust, huh? And then you look up here. What do we say here? Okay. I'm surprised you all trust him so much. Of course we love our prince. This all sounds so familiar. Yeah, I'm trying to predict it before. It's just going to happen right here, right now. We're just talking about trust. And you're obviously thinking about Sensei, considering the Earth's in view. So I'm surprised you all trusted him so much and just take these names verbatim. Maybe we shouldn't take everything that Sensei has said about myself verbatim. Maybe he's hidden information. Maybe he gave me the wrong name. Maybe I'm not even this element, but a different element that isn't Foss. And he's just named me that because he was scared of the real truth or something. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Either way, Foss is continuing to realize something and not telling the audience, very frustratingly. Cicada, where is your prince? For I have discovered something. Why does he look like a furry now? What happened, big dog? What is this? He's in the woods acting like a furry. And we're going to start calling him Acmea. Sure, I'm going to have to get used to that. I don't know, I got used to Khan Gorm. I'm sure I can get used to that as well. Oh, okay, he's a little bit sloppy and he's got his glasses on. Hey, he's also on the toilet. He's on the dunny. Why didn't I see the toilet before? He's in his little fucking garden toilet. His hair's a mess. This isn't how he wanted to be perceived, damn it. Hence the, you're early. I'm terribly sorry. Oh, it's no trouble. I apologize for my appearance. I suppose this is urgent. There's one thing I'm pretty sure Sensei has yet to experience, and that's our betrayal. I'll talk to my fellow gems and convince them to come to the moon with me. Okay, you're gonna bring some people along? Okay, so that's what this is about when we talk about trust. Okay, this guy seems dumb, and he seems like he's full of love for the prince, right? Okay, he's stupid to trust him so heavily. Why does this all sound so familiar? This reflects us to Sensei. What if I broke everybody's trust with Sensei, broke that love, broke that trust? Would that shake him to the point where he would start to pray again? He would lose everything that he ever loved and whatnot. It's pretty mean, though, as we could see here. I think Foss realizes that as well. Yeah, the eyes, the shadow over the eyes. Yeah, very much not our Foss anymore, for sure. So, okay, this is also how Foss is going to go back. So you propose to return to your planet, find gems who are willing to cooperate, and bring them here. Am I understanding you correctly? Yes. And the odds are, there is a chance. Then he looks up, he contemplates for a moment. I understand. I'll say it's worth a try. But if you'll be crossing to the other side, then I must insist on keeping an eye on you. How are you going to be able to do that? Okay, and this is where the synthetic pearl is coming in. Gotcha. Okay, this is where the extra addition. The new eye. Really like the shot here in this regard as well. It's almost like you've snuck up, like, very quickly. Do you know what I mean? Also, where are you grabbing this pearl from? It's almost like... No, you're already holding it here. Did you grab it from anywhere? Did he shit it out? Pause. Yeah, no, he's already playing with it here. Okay, yeah, fair enough. He's very swift with it. He's a very powerful guy too, with a thack in the onomatopoeia department. Swiftly, we get rid of this eye, replacing it with the synthetic pearl, the culmination of all our knowledge. You will continue to be cursed with knowledge, Foss. Now you have Lapis, plus whatever the fuck this is. Heterochromia has been unlocked. I'm happy we did this, a tracking device, because otherwise the Foss could just be like, yeah, I'm going to do this, psych, and then just run away again. Anyway, but tracking device aside, let's continue. It will keep track of all your movements. Now let's start making arrangements. Foss is adjusting to the new inclusion. I feel sick. A little bit of humanity? That's the humanity fucking thing we saw before, right? Yeah, very similar. Weird. Okay. Okay, and then Foss, like, faints. Or, like, passes out for a time. Cicada is horrified. Oh, no. And it seems like Foss has potentially come to again by the very end of it. Okay. Yeah, and you're armed with your sword now, too. Fair enough. It seems like a time has passed based on here as well. Snails is still all over him, too. You're looking quite dapper. I don't know. I wonder how people are going to react to your costuming. That'll be an interesting one. I would imagine it's a pure white or a cream color, much like the Lunarians have been. You look wonderful. Honestly, I wasn't sure how I felt about you wandering around half naked all the time. This is such a relief. Look who's talking. What were you wandering around like? I guess you're showing a bit of skin there. I don't know. I think the outfit's kind of baller. It's almost like the remnants of, like the gold's kind of making gloves to like that really formal outfit that Foss had on the previous night. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't really been paying much attention to costuming, but maybe I should have. Red Barrel's gonna fucking have a hissy fit for sure. Are you feeling better? No, wait, are you really coming with me? Yes, I am. Is that a good idea? Well, whatever. Let's go. What do you mean coming with? Is he fucking tagging along? My boy Cicada. And yes, it seems like we're returning back to Earth. Very cool. Yeah, I wonder how we're going to go about recruiting people per se. I don't know. One to watch. Next up, Chapter 57, Crossroads. Foss is taking a seat here on the magical Moon Express. One-way ticket to Earth, please. Oh, is this Cicada? Yeah, because then we turn up here. It's like, Cicada, how long was I on the moon? Oh, and he can't speak like this too? Yeah. So he's like, almost like drawing the number on Foss's head. That's so cute. I love the big fella. I'm into him. I think he's cool. I don't know. Let's do it all for that guy. I'm with it. I'm with it for Cicada. Apparently it's been 49 days. It's a little soon to be going back. I haven't kept them waiting long enough. And it's too soon to trust Acmea. I doubt I managed to get everything out of him yet, but at least I know that, for the time being, the Lunarians' goal is to get their prayer machine working, so they can turn into nothing. Again, that's part of another sub-level of that conversation a couple chapters ago. Between the two, Foss is looking for the in. Foss is looking for the genuine stuff, right? What is the actual motives here? What do they actually care about? That's when Foss is really taking note, when Acme is kind of really talking about how much he wishes to pass on and to pass on for everybody else, and how humanity is a shackle, humanity is a prison. That stuff seemed to come from a genuine place. Sure, I would like to believe that that is the truth. But I do like that now Foss is stepping away and thinking within Foss's own head. Again, almost conversing with Lapis in doing so. Hey, I don't actually fully trust this guy. I haven't fully turn-coded. I'm just gathering information. Fair enough. And yeah, as long as it looks like I'm sincerely helping them, they won't have a reason to take any of us away. I wish I could tell the other gems the truth, but no one would believe that Sensei is a tool, moreover a broken down tool made by animals from the past. Instead, they'll think my time on the moon has drove me crazy, and they'll mark me as an enemy. If that happens, I won't even be able to have a normal conversation. I'll have to start by working carefully but quickly to rip them away from Sensei. What is this? This is like Big Brother, the Big Brother house. I've been brought in to, break up alliances and, sow insecurity and doubt about the people around me. The Chaos Agent. Yeah, Secret Agent Foss is doing his thing here. Here's my thing. Who would trust Foss at the moment? I feel like Cinnabar would trust Foss almost implicitly, because that's just the vibe. Especially if you would present it to Cinnabar as Cinnabar's purpose. Your purpose is to help me take this motherfucker down. In thinking about that, is the poison going to be involved then, potentially too? That would be a purpose. I don't know. Maybe the poison gets that broken down machine working again. Much like I mentioned last week, I like this view, it kind of opening up, looking like the window of an airplane or something, right? Seeing something in the distance getting ever closer, like we're making a journey. We're here? That was fast. I didn't get to see this on my way to the moon. There's no color. Is that because of the camouflage membrane? I'm impressed at their technology. Oh my god. The other thing I should do is get some of that lunar technology. Hell yeah. If we can get Sensei working again and end the war, then I'll negotiate with Acmea to give me some as payment for my cooperation. If the moon has technology that advanced, then maybe we can rebuild everyone from sand and get the venom out of Cinnabar. Still thinking about Cinnabar, very cool. Okay, this is ambitious. I'm thinking if they get Sensei working again, are you guys still going to be around? Is Sensei responsible for giving you guys consciousness, or is that something you do on your own? Can the bone and the flesh merely exist without the soul? If we take one down, do we take us all down? I don't know. Just spitballing. I don't know. Anyway, the first step is the most important. I have to get them all away somehow. And if I can't do that, I'll be moon sand. Wow, I'm nervous, as I got a little tickle in my throat too. What do you mean get them all away somehow? Oh, is get them all away, get my friends to the moon? I don't understand that part of it, really. But anyway, fine. Are you sure you'll be okay? So there's a poke here. Poke. Are you sure you'll be okay? I'm pretty sure everyone's going to try to defeat you. And then joke here, he looks scary. Fair enough. My good friend... my good friend Cicada's turned into some kind of horrible beast. Oh, I guess you'll be fine. He's also jacked as shit. Hey, yo. What's happening here now? Yeep. And then, whatever this is... I guess you're seeing his eyes? Oh, are you crying? Is that what this is? Yeah. He's getting emotional now that Foss is leaving. Okay, I get it. I'm gonna be alright. I'll make it work. You're getting a little bit nervous, I guess, too. Okay, seems like the hole's opening. We've shot an arrow out. Very cool. And then you see out of it and you can finally see color again. There's color now, so the black spot is a special effect you added when you break the camouflage membrane to make it look like you've appeared out of nowhere. That's impressively elaborate way to harass us. So that's why the sunspots appear out of nowhere. It's kind of part of this camouflage effect, adding color, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Sure, we're really over-explaining this technology side of it, but I digress. And yeah, we're dropping out of the airplane back down to where we've been from. Very cool. And we're finally back with our characters again. Oh my god. Okay, flower crown. Very cool. We hear it. Ah! You know when the Lunarians stay away for so long, that means they could show up at any minute, right? It actually makes me more nervous. Mm-hmm. So just get here already, if you can. Show up where Bort will find you. Who the hell is this again? Okay, a couple of things. Let's go all the way back to the start, page 102. Yeah, I felt like I saw a little flower crown or something here on the volume cover. That was one of the things I wanted to check, and then it's whoever the hell you are with the blue hair. It's definitely Hemi, and it isn't blue, it's like a greenish blue. Did I mention I'm colorblind? Yeah, and Melon. These two hang out together, so sure. Maybe it's taken them a long time to decorate with their new catch because Foss is so soft. The scariest things just randomly pop out of your mouth. So yeah, you like actually considering Foss being torn apart. Kind of scary, for sure. But seriously, what do they do when they take us to the moon? What do they do to decorate other than make weapons? I don't know. They just make the moon pretty, I guess. It's kind of... It was up in the air. You kind of use them in lots of things. It seems like you use them in production as well as just making the moon pretty. And then they think about it. They realize that that question is kind of existential and scary and would prefer not to talk about it before hearing a splash. Melon, Hemi, up there. Oh, an upside down black spot down there. And then, oh my god, Foss is back. Have I ever said Foss has a great ass for a gemstone? Anyway... I like the comedy here as well. Like they almost can't believe it's Foss. All very surprised at seeing Foss again. Again, last time something dropped out of this thing, it was the doctor. So that's kind of fucked up. And then it seems like they're like, you know, like a jar of monkeys. They're almost like jar of monkeys ing like down from the sunspot here and trying to touch Foss. I believe this is all acting to make this thing look a little bit more legitimate and less suspicious. All part of the plan, of course. Now we see the big guy come down. Big Chad Cicada. Very cool. A new type. Oh no. That one's definitely going to be tough. And why does this all have to happen at once? Maybe it's a little too much for us younger gems to handle. Safety first. Let's call Sensei. Oh no, the Fossy thing. It's getting stolen away. It's basically forcing the younger ones here into action very quickly instead of getting Sensei over, which is probably smart. Because Sensei may have his suspicions and may be like, no, this is bad news. Let's, cut it loose with the whole Foss thing. I wonder if given the chance, Sensei would take out Foss, now suspecting Foss knows what Foss knows. Worthy of some consideration, potentially. I do not know. What's my phone saying? My phone is saying that my alarms are about to go off. Let's not do that. But I don't think Sensei would kill Foss just off rip. Either way, we're all jumping in and fighting my good friend Cicada. Apparently it didn't work. This thing's too powerful. And then Foss is getting stolen away again. The tension's ratcheting up. Come on, young gems, let's go. Yeah. And here comes Bortz in to save the day. Forget how good forget how good this manga is at action as well. Such a great shot here, just composition-wise, to display the motion and the intensity at which Bortz is approaching this. With a big old kind of hearty whack here, we have Bortz fighting Cicada. Backflip away. Bortz, we're sorry. It's Foss. Behind it. I know. So Bortz is locked in, sliding between the legs. Ayo. To try to go get Foss. Very cool. Now it seems like... I was thinking about Bortz just then. Bortz seems like the only thing Bortz trusts is Sensei, right? Bortz is a bit of a curmudgeon otherwise, right? Clearly cares somewhat for Dia as well, but is very, very tsundere about it. So I don't think you're going to have much success convincing Bortz, is my point. Bortz, through the legs, bounding towards Foss, gets held back by the hair. The strongest, our Bortz, is being done like this by Cicada, so the Lunarians are pretty strong is the point. We're power scaling here, folks. It's like it's a shonen manga. Seems like we have a bit of eye contact briefly. Also, the eye is really suspect. I think Sensei's going to pick up on that almost immediately. Oh, no, Sensei's here. Okay. So then it seems like all hope is lost. The young gems... Because I thought the whole idea here is that we weren't going to involve Sensei, but he's shown up regardless. Okay. How's Sensei going to see Foss here? Especially the eye. The eye's super crucial here, because the eye's the difference. The eye's going to be like, that's fucking sus as hell. Wonder how our Kangom will feel about the eye as well, because the eye will technically be another piece of lapis that you've lost. So, I don't know. Either way, he's here. There's a boff. My good friend Cicada's been taken out. Oh no. Again, he'll respawn on the moon or whatever happens there. And yeah, Sensei is here. He saved the day. Sensei, Fossy, it's a Fossy thing. Sensei, look, it's Foss, isn't it? And then the eye. Sensei reacts. Oh no. The stare down continues. Clearly a complex set of emotions here for Sensei. I've seen somebody that I wasn't sure I was going to see again, but also they've actually succeeded. Are they armed with knowledge? Have they been convinced by the Lunarians? Do I have to keep an eye on this person doubly so now? Look at the clothing change too. Very notably a kind of a darker color scheme to a lighter color scheme. Is that anything? Kind of stepping out of the darkness and the ignorance into the light, into the truth. Yeah, a lot going through your head at the moment, I would imagine. Aha, okay, next one. So we go from here to Sensei on his knees. What is something that happens when people are on their knees? They're generally praying. You're praying. So again, it's almost like this semblance of your programming coming back upon seeing Foss again. I can't really extrapolate any greater meaning there, but I think it's definitely pointed that he is kneeling upon meeting Foss again. So a stare. Foss is surprised at the bowing and the kneeling and whatnot. You came back. Yes, Sensei. I see. I'm so glad. But are you? Face shrouded in darkness? Are you really so glad as to see our friend Foss again? This certainly is a crossroads. This certainly was one of the crossroads of all time. Look at the cloud, everybody. What does the cloud remind you of? Human. It's that same shape. It's that distorted star. It's like that weird goo from the human synthesis. And I've also glanced over at OBS and I realized I was in the wide view for a long time. I'll see how that looks in post. And maybe zoom in if possible. There we go. That's what you should have been looking at the entire time. Basically, Sensei went back and looked at these guys. I don't know, a lot of the sequence was also just a fight, so we'll see. I'll assess. Sorry. I do that quite a bit. I do have OBS up on this other monitor, but sometimes I don't look over there. Either way, next chapter. Hope. Hope is a slow and insidious killer, whatever the saying is. Anyway. This is Kangom, everybody. Kangom is sleeping. Kangom has been estivating, or is going into estivation. You slept after a long time of being awake, is the point. Oh, this is adorable. Look at this. Okay, so Kangom's sleeping. A little shine, a little roll, a little touch, potentially. Wide awake. And Foss is here, showing off again, with that same old stupid grin, the same old face, Lapis's head. I look beautiful. That same old vibe there. This is not a dream. Stay away, stay away, stay away, you're scaring me. What are you wearing? Okay, we're finally bringing up the costuming as well, which is nice. And yes, immediately, Red Barrel. Those clothes. You're the weapons person. I forget your name. Your name's escaping me. This sword. That eyeball. Oh, this is fantastic. Yeah, Rich Hill will be really into the eyeball for sure. What happened on the moon? Oh, and they're all in Kangom's room. That's why this is over here. Ah, so Foss is back. Everyone's all excited and they've invaded Kangom's room. And it seems like you're going to feign ignorance. It's probably a good strategy. Foss has forgotten things before. It's been integral to the plot. So you just forgetting something again seems pretty natural. At least to these guys. It won't garner much suspicion. Yeah, here we go. Should have seen that coming. It's Foss's special skill. Well, remember harder. Of course, Alex being the one here to come through with the most passion. Probably hair going a little bit red here as well as that passion's breaking through. Of course, the obsession with Lunarians. You've actually seen them up close. What do you mean you don't remember anything? Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Just like shaking Foss violently too. Ah, Moon. These clothes don't disappear. Why is that? How did you get back? So about that big Lunarian. Everyone, I think we should take this a little bit at a time. Okay, they're just fucking swarming Foss. Okay, here's the first thing that Foss says. Hilarious urchins. Urchins? There were sea urchins on the moon? No. And Foss has officially lost it. Yeah, okay. You're doing a good job, Foss, of feigning this ignorant whole thing. Do you remember anything? The moon. What is this? Back from being stupid? What a relief. Is Foss being stupid again and that's a relief? I guess. I don't know, man. The moon is a mysterious place where everything is white, I think. They had what's a thing called what's a thingy, and they did stuff. Okay, so you're just talking shit. You're talking absolute porridge right now. I think there were things, lots of things I'd never seen before. Wow, that sounds kind of awesome and very vague. Did you see any other gems? What? Everyone's thinking. Maybe a ghost, potentially? Everyone here has their missing persons as well, obviously, too. Now, this one's one where the emotion's coming back a little bit. Again, the dust. Everyone's being ground up to make the world beautiful and whatnot. I think I saw some. Just still kind of lying. Not being able to tell my friends, the people around me that care so much, that their loved ones have found this fate. I can't tell them this. Is that the right thing? Should I be doing this? All this is being considered by Foss at the moment. It's a really deep scene. I'm deceiving everybody around me, purposefully not telling them the truth, obfuscating things. Am I any better than Sensei in that regard? But again, it's all for a greater purpose. But what if Sensei's is all for a greater purpose as well, and he just can't tell you? Where's the trust factor here, you know? Should we trust that Foss has our best interests in mind, best intentions? What does that even mean? What does exposing Sensei even do? What is it? Yeah, what are we doing this for, Foss? You know? Anyway, that's a deeper conversation. I'd like somebody to elaborate on that greater, right? Like, it's not like I talk to them or anything. Still thinking about the dust, right? I'm sorry, I can't give you any better information. Yeah, just this moment is so significant. This is the, what am I doing this all for moment? You know, all my friends are being ground into dust and I'm siding with those people? Again, to what end? For what purpose? Take a step back. What are we doing this for? Who are we doing this for? I'm sorry I can't give you any better information. That's okay. Come to think of it, Sensei usually calls us all together to explain what happened. Oh yeah, I was wondering about that too. Foss, did you hear anything? No, Sensei hasn't said anything to me since I'm glad you're back on the beach. Well, anyway, it's a shame you don't remember anything, but at any rate, we're glad you're okay. You look a little different, but you're still Foss on the inside. What is this? This is the first time any of us have come back from the moon in one piece. That's crazy. You really are amazing, Foss. Yeah. You're our ray of hope. Oh no. Yeah, what's Kangorm thinking right now? Yeah. And how do you feel about being like this false messiah, giving all these other people hope that their friends will return as well? When I know that they're all dust and then they're never coming back. We can never put them back together. They're Gornsky. They're as good as dead. But you now physically represent the hope that they will return one day. Foss! How does that make you feel? Are you morally compromised because of that? Do you even have a moral compass anymore? Foss, I must ask once again, what are you doing this all for? I think this is what Kangorm's doing too. Do you really not remember? I'm intimately familiar with Foss, but more so than that, I'm intimately familiar with fucking Lapis's face. And Lapis's face at the moment is telling me that you remember something, that you aren't telling the truth. I know Lapis, and Lapis's face here is kind of lying. Right? Kangorm is suspicious, I guess is what we should take out of this. Again, pretty straightforward direction here. Obfuscated, half in shadow, not telling the entire truth. And over here as well, suspicion. in the shadow. I don't trust this side that you're showing, this side that you're exposing. You're not showing the truth. Very notably, you're not telling us about this eye over here as well. I don't know if you'd call it direction, art, symbolism. It's all pretty great over here, like this sequence. Guess. Wow, you're annoying. Lapis could tell a lie with a straight face, and no one would know the truth for 100 years. You're a terrible liar, but I don't trust you. Oh, so Lapis is why. You're such a good actor, Cairngorm. Hey, you're kidding, right? It didn't really mean... Stop. Okay, what is happening? We're bringing back this line again, which is interesting, the good actor line. But yeah, is the terrible liar part and the suspicion coming from the Foss element more so than the Lapis element? Lapis could lie with a straight face. You'd never know. I am suspicious. This is the Foss element coming through. You're telling lies. I don't trust you at the moment, I guess. And either way, eye contact again. Still half cut off on that eye. Whatever. I'm supposed to be estivating anyway. I don't want to hear anything that'll keep me awake. If there's no rush, then remember what you have to by autumn. Okay, so you're going back to sleep. Fair enough. Oh, come on, talk to me. Let's have a quiz game to see if I remember anything. Ugh, you're such a pest. I'm going to bed. What is this, thinking time dance? That's pretty good too. I like that. Okay, so you're putting on an appearance. I like this a lot too. Oh, and you know what this is? Are you doing what I think you're doing? Yeah. Okay, alright. This reminds me of Cinnabar Foss reactions, right? Where somebody is far enough away, you know, you've shown one side of yourself, you've said one thing, they go to walk away, and then you say the truth under your breath. It's very tsundere, right? So in reality, you like Cairngorm. A good portion of you likes Cairngorm anyway. You feel some responsibility to tell them the truth. You would want to clue them in. This is your hidden emotion coming through. You want to say that you do remember. I was going to do it all myself, but after talking to you, I started wanting your help, and I don't know what to do. Okay, so you want to clue Cairngorm in. Interesting. Cloud again. Cloud spotted. Cloud spotted. Human cloud. Human cloud. Human cloud. Anyway. And again, what does that piece of symbolism mean in combination with wanting to tell and confide in another that you trust? You know? Is what Foss is doing ultimately human, or is it ultimately not human? Pursuing the truth, not knowing the consequences there within. That's a whole can of worms. Holy shit, this thing's deep. Holy fuck. Did you hear? Okay, so yeah, Sensei's here, by the way. That's what this sound effect is, the zish. Yeah, and then a moment where the two just look at each other and Sensei walks straight past, doesn't say a word. Just a, hey, Sensei! What? Don't you have any questions for me or anything? No. Why is he so... He's a Chad, yo. Again, you could see this one for sure. This is diagonal through a lot of these panels. I think this signifies to me that he's on to you. He knows what's up. It's the eye, bro. It's the eye for sure, too. What? No way, but you must have a ton of things to say. Like how I can't keep wearing these clothes, or like, you know, all the mistakes. I see no problems. Okay, then you're like, what? Okay, so this is heartbreaking for Foss as well, we must remember. Foss is fond of Sensei. Foss, you know, doesn't want to do this kind of thing all the time with Sensei, kind of wants to trust him and whatnot. But again, you're not telling me anything. This hasn't provoked anything in you. You don't want to tell me the truth. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. I need to provoke him. This is me realizing that, again, what I'm going to have to do here, I'm going to have to sever this relationship even more by saying this line, basically. There's a tragedy here that I think I wasn't really... Again, like understanding all the way initially. Again, is it true that you were a tool made by humans? Yes, it's true. He just comes out and says it. And then Foss is like stunned. And Sensei's locking in a little bit. Don't you want to know where I found out or who told me? No. Are you mocking me? No, why? Don't you want to know why I came back? No, I'm just happy knowing that you are back. What the fuck? This cunt's insane. Okay. Yeah, what is he doing? He's trying to pull off the nonchalant gimmick, and I don't think it's working. Okay. Weird. Yeah, that's thrown me a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Huh. He doesn't want to learn anything else. He almost doesn't want to learn everything that you've learnt. He almost wants to keep himself in the dark, almost. Or again, there's the subtext. He already knows all the stuff that you know, so he doesn't need to ask you. That's sus, obviously, then. But he's also guilt-tripping Foss at the same time. Because, like, okay, I'm just happy knowing that you are back. I love you, reiterating that point again. Won't you feel worse and worse and worse now that, again, I'm very suspicious? You know I'm very suspicious, and he's not pursuing it. It almost makes him seem like this peaceful person off to the side. He's not an antagonist. It's going to make me feel even more evil in doing what I need to do to progress the story. Okay, let's see what Foss says. Gold arms turning into jelly again. Obviously, that emotional side coming through the gold, as we've seen a number of times. So you don't care if I go to the moon? You don't care what I do? Is that what you're saying? Of course, it makes perfect sense. Even Ekmia's most cunning, ruthless plots have been eternally useless against the stubborn lunk. It may be that our betrayal won't even faze the blockhead. And then, no, I won't know until I try. So let's get started. Let's lock in and start betraying Sensei even harder. Okay, seems like we're with Rutiel, near the pond again, which is kind of where Rutiel hangs out. Your left eye won't close. This eyeball is probably made of pearl, the layers of agonite that form when a foreign substance enters a seashell. Is it from the moon? Okay, is that what a pearl is? Sure. I'd imagine this is something akin to Sasuga Rutiel. Sure. Mind if I gouge it out for a second? Gouge? Sure. I wouldn't want my eye gouged out. A lot of great shadow work this chapter, man. Holy shit. On the moon, I saw technology for synthesizing gems. Oh, suspicious. Oh. Yeah. I thought you didn't remember anything, Foss. Interesting. They were making gemstone after gemstone with no inclusions. It made me think of Padparasha. Yeah! No. No, Foss. No. You wound me so. Foss knows everyone's buttons to push to get them to do shit. That's the vibe I'm getting here, for sure. And you know what I'm going to do? This is going to be controversial, but I'm going to finish here tonight, because it's getting late. But I really do want to finish this volume, so we're going to do a couple chapters tomorrow morning, and then I'll edit from there. Video will be a bit late, obviously, as a result. Public won't care, but Patreon will. I'll let them know now. And yeah, because I want to get a bigger chunk out there this week than I have been doing. So we're going to do that. That's what we're going to do. So I'll see you tomorrow morning. Look forward to it. And we're back. It's the next day. It's cold as shit. But we're here regardless. Foss is being morally dubious. And I think we're starting to teeter more and more on this thing I've talked about with Foss, which is the ends justifying the means. What was the point of any of this? I'm mad at Sensei for lying to us. Now I'm essentially not telling the entire truth to all my friends as well. Emotionally manipulating them. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me anyway here at the moment, and I'm pretty sure the narrative knows that. I'm pretty sure we're casting judgment on Foss, or at least will do in time for his actions. Either way, I'm here to get a wriggle on. Chapter 59, Unrest. I was going to apply more context, but no, you're watching this straight after I finish the last chapter. You guys don't need it. So obviously Rutiel is stunned. That's something I just remembered. Hardy ha. Very convenient, Foss, that you just remembered that. You're not really playing this as subtly as I probably would, but anyway. But everybody trusts Foss, and everybody almost, like, they lower their sense of security around Foss as well, to the point where Foss can get away with some manipulation like this as well. So that's pretty smart, almost like using the old Foss and the reputation there in doing this. Are you saying Padparasha could get treatment on the moon? I think that's kind of what I'm saying. Again, Rutiel's very stunned here. Somebody that's not normally caught off guard, I would argue. No, I really have no idea about that. But I saw a lot of tools that I didn't recognize on the moon and technology that we've never heard of. And then, you know what? For now, I'm gonna hang on to this eyeball and see how things go. Maybe that's an interesting one. Does the eyeball itself have some intangible effect on what's going on here as well, and the route that Foss is taking? Again, maybe we'll explore that a little bit more concretely as we continue. I don't know. It seems like Rutil was interested, for sure. More than a little bit interested, some would say desperate. Anyway, Foss over here, sighing deeply. Pick at their weaknesses and get them to act for themselves. It's the only way I could think of to arouse the least amount of suspicion. Still, it's a rotten way to go, but I can't go moping about every little problem. 28, no, it's 27 now. Very calculated, Foss. There's a bit of self-awareness here about, Foss's own actions. I like that. Like, I feel kind of dirty for doing this, but you still kind of did it. I don't know. It's sucky, but if you think that this is the only way, it comes back to the question of why. Again, as I continue to say. Okay, no, I thought that this was counting down people. It's 28, no, 27 now. No, we're talking about days after which Cicada will come for us. I have to hurry. I have to recruit people to that point, I guess. Does that make any sense? Like, I have to convince a number of people by that point, so I have to keep going, have to keep delving further and further into this darker stuff. I thought that this was more like, I've convinced one of 28 gems. No, not quite. Either way, it seems like Adamant has caught on to Foss again, and a little bit of old Foss coming through here as well. Just a little bit. Since Kangom is asleep, I was thinking I'd just go ahead and patrol all by myself wherever I wanted to go. Permission granted. What? Just like that? You're kidding. Are you really sure? Are you feeling up to it? Oh, he's giving like silent treatment, or like your significant other is mad at you and they won't explain why, and they're just like acting really like neutrally emotionally. Yeah. like asking a bunch of questions back. Do you feel like that's the okay thing to do? Just being really smug, basically. In that same way, the inverse is also true. You can see a lot of Foss's actions here as kind of almost attention-seeking. I almost want a reaction out of Adamant here, and he's not really going for it, which is odd. It makes me think multiple things. One, can he not act based on some amount of programming, considering he's a robot machine guy, potentially? The other one would be potentially one of the gems eventually finding out and changing something, and doing that side of it is also part of whatever his major plan is too, and he doesn't want to stop it. Those are two things that are bubbling away in my head after these reactions from Adamant. Again, could be wrong there. Then I see no problem. Huh? Yes. There's that love again. Well, in that case I'm off, if I can read. And then, yeah, very wide shot here as Foss gallivants away into the ocean, apparently. Weird. Yeah, this is a weird aside too, but I like it. So, Sensei's waiting to see if I'll sink myself, eh? I know Sensei is barely giving me a second glance these days, but to let me run free when I'm obviously acting suspicious? What is that rockhead thinking? Sensei must be confident. Well, that makes sense. Congo is the hardest substance in the world, and I swear I will crush it. So again, I like this progression for Foss, obviously post Lapis Head, actually taking a step back and considering things. Foss feels like he's on the same level as the reader a lot, right? Okay, I see what Sensei's doing. Cool, that's good. I can now adapt and take that information in and adapt accordingly, I guess. Again, like, this is for sure a thought. Sensei must be confident, that's why he's doing this. Or it could be part of his plan, or he could not be able to act. Again, I think that this is an assumption about Sensei's motivations. Of course, Foss continues to be king of the little jellyfish creatures, of course, which is based. Foss is being called out to by someone. One of the gems. We want to hear more about the moon. Do you remember anything? Huh? Good question. I almost don't want to do it in this group setting. I want to get you one-on-one and kind of attack your weaknesses or something. The ground on the moon is slippery, and I feel like there's a lot of round things lying on the ground. Okay. Wow, for being so disgusting, that information is awfully useless. It's interesting that you went to the surface of the moon as a, random example, considering what's actually on the surface of the moon. Anyway, I knew I never wanted to go there. It's creepy, right? But I guess it's pretty much what I pictured. That sounds so weird. I can't even imagine it. That's all I got. The sun is so high. Okay, so everybody's just straight onto, right off Foss's back again. Gotcha. Uh-oh, back to the beach. It took way too long to find Foss. I was giving my regards to the jellyfish. Oh, very cool. Let's go, Benito. Yeah. Okay. Everyone's waving and stuff. Oh no, Yellow Diamond's just chilling. Okay. Yeah, is this the person that initially talks, potentially? Yeah, because there's 2 pairs, and then Yellow Diamond there. Okay, Yellow Diamond's an interesting one. Obviously has that significant other whose name is escaping me? Or has lost many people over the journey, actually, is kind of Yellow Diamond's story. So again, that may be another route by which we can start to convince people, of course. Either way, Yellow has a free day. Asked to take a break today. I'm a little worried. Wait, who asked to take a break? Oh, wait, no, I'm confused. Yellow asked to take a break today, so you have a free day. Is this just Dia? Okay, does that make sense? I think so. This is Yellow. Alright, I'm fucking... Maybe these weeks between recordings aren't helping either, anyway. Especially between seeing these characters again. So Foss, I bet you remember all kinds of things from the moon, but you're so nice, you're pretending you forgot and only telling us a little at a time so you don't scare any gem. Or am I wrong? You are wrong. You're right and you're wrong. Foss does remember everything, but Foss isn't telling you for reasons that we'll go into. It's not out of protection, more out of manipulation. Putting it as bluntly as possible. Oh, and here we go as well. I'm not afraid to hear about the moon. I want to go to a place without boards. Very cool. We're running out of board license plates. Pause. Focus. This has been Dia's thing, right? Escaping the kind of expectation of your diamond sibling, I guess you could call them that. Yeah, this is this story finally coming back. It's like, okay, I've gathered information in the first part of the story, that being Foss, everybody's arc or emotional stakes and things that they care about. Now it's time for me to leverage that in convincing people, right? It feels very visual novel in a way, right? I've done the legwork very early in the piece there and kind of did everybody's route and figured out things there, and now, okay, we're getting towards endgame, I can actually start to recruit and execute on things. I tried everything I could think of, but I could never change. Of course, that's going to resonate with Foss too, like the reflection here, and a very angular line cutting through the panel as well. Yeah, looking within oneself, I guess. Okay, Foss considers for a moment. Never mind. If I remember anything that could help you, Dia, I'll tell you right away. Thank you. I'll be looking forward to it. Okay, there's a little bit bubbling under the surface here. You're obviously calculating a little bit here at this moment. And you wholeheartedly trust Foss? I guess what reason would you have not to? Ooh, interesting. We're changing tact here, and it seems like Foss is potentially going after Yellow. Sans Undertale aside, of course. It's all very spooky with the glowing eye. Again, just a nice bit of levity here in the middle. I'll keep going on about it. It's good pacing stuff. Oh, it's you, Foss. Your eye glows? That's just... I know. It's disgusting. So you stopped yourself and then, yeah, I understand. It's fine. Again, are we not worried about the eye that's come from the moon, from the Lunarians, and Foss doesn't remember anything? Are we not treating that with any level of caution? I know that Sensei is, but he can't act on it for whatever reason, but everybody else? Are we really just going to leave that? I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. Dia was worried about you. Yeah. You came back, and that means there's hope for others too, or hope for the others too. Okay, so this is where we're attacking the diamond stuff from, or Yellow Diamond, excuse me. Of course, has this complex about survivor's guilt and being the one that's left, and why did they take the other ones and not me, and all that kind of nonsense. We're going to play off of that a little bit. Again, Foss, you're our hope. And how does that make you feel, Foss? How does that make you feel? Of course, maybe you're just special, so maybe there's not hope. And you're nothing if not special. I totally get it. Still, it's all I can think about. I can't concentrate on battle. Hope can be a dangerous thing. Do you want to see them? I want to apologize. Okay, what do you want to apologize for? And we go through the list here. Ruby, Sapphire, Green Diamond, Pink Topaz. You have a couple really good Pokemon games here. Very cool. Where's Diamond? Diamond's a good one too, of course. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Even if they can't come back like you did, I at least want to talk to them one more time. The Diamond family is special. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, and then, yeah. So there's a connection here between all y'all. I don't know. I don't know enough about geology or gemstones to comment, I guess. But, yeah, again, just to say sorry. Sorry for everything that happened. Closure. I want to achieve that. Another thing which Foss can use to manipulate to get you on side, of course. And again, if I remember anything about the moon, I'll tell you. Thanks. So I've got Dia and Yellow. Rutil should be willing too. Okay. So you're already counting on them to be like, oh yeah, okay. I've already got them in the bag. You haven't really propositioned yet though, but you've got leads, I guess. Okay, fair enough. I have a good chance with Lex. Definitely Lex. Holy shit. Lex is going to jump at the opportunity. Sphene, Peridot, for the same reason as Yellow. Fair enough. Again, this is more what I've been talking about in the narrative thus far, of everybody having that one significant other that they're desperate about and whatnot, and them getting taken away. And yeah, we can play off of that and get them on the side of wanting to go to the moon because they're curious and wanting to see these people again, especially with this whole synthetic gemstone type idea. Again, we're probably going to dive a little bit deeper into that as we continue in the narrative. Red Beryl would probably have an interest in lunar fashion, and Benito seemed surprisingly curious about the moon. If I can get 2 gems every 2 days, that's good progress. Why not say 1 gem every 1 day? Anyway, I may not get everyone, but I can get maybe even half of us, or if I can get 10, maybe even half of us. Ooh, Cinnabar. Good. Cinnabar should be very easy to convince, chat room. Because Cinnabar was already willing to go to the moon, if asked. So, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Okay, but we're going to go see Cinnabar. Very notably, you still haven't changed costuming either, which is, again, noted. I don't know what this is about. So, eye is shining, you hide eye, you're a careful gem. Is that what Cinnabar's saying, maybe? You'll probably get mad and tell me there's too many uncertainties, so I'll save you for last. Okay, no. You're not seeing Cinnabar. So, you see Cinnabar in the distance, I guess. And then you're like, shit, okay, let's hide eye. Because every single other time thus far I've talked to Cinnabar about things, Cinnabar has bounced back and said, but what if this is this? And Cinnabar's been a tsundere and hasn't really said the other side of it, which is, I would have done it regardless. Barker hasn't really expressed that to Foss yet. Foss still doesn't know how hopelessly devoted Cinnabar really is to you. Okay. So I'm going to save Cinnabar for last. That's cute. Okay, something Pinky Promise we're thinking about, of course. That's the Cinnabar connection. 26 days, so another day has passed. Foss. Who is this? Okay. A black spot. A big one we saw 2-3 days ago. It's back. On the west coast. I'll go get Sensei. Up the fucking Eagles. Let's go. See you there. Huh? That wasn't our deal. Okay, what's going on here? Why is old mate back? Our boy has returned. Cicada himself, the Chad. Okay, and that's the end of Unrest. Moving on to Suspicion. Oh my god. Foss is being sus. Okay, we're running into action. Suspicion. He's here. Foss, again, I'll take care of it because I want to jump up there and potentially have a little conversation. Maybe that's why he's here. Maybe the circumstances have changed. With a thonk on the ground, I have bounded up so effortlessly to the black spot. Very cool, Foss. And again, maybe on purpose here is getting spiked. So, yeah. And then, what? Stop. Okay, and then gets piked regardless. Is this real? Is this a real combat encounter, or do we just want to get Foss alone so we can have a chat again? Yeah, this is very interesting. Foss, again, continues to be up here. There's a wham down here. Set Grink? Huh? Squeak. What is occurring? Oh, okay. It's like a flute almost. There's a little voice hole here that can actually translate stuff. Yo, that's actually sick. Okay, so he's like, something's coming out here, something's squeaking out here. It's going like up this tube, to my knowledge, and then out of here we're kind of speaking. All right, that's kind of based. I was so worried I had to come back. Foss is obviously shocked. This is the first time we've heard a Lunarian kind of on this plane. But we can't breathe here, so I talked it over with our prince and got this staff made. It lets us talk while we fight. Isn't that amazing? That's our prince for you. So we always had that technology? That's kind of frustrating. Unreadable face, apparently, too. I do like the little bow. It's a more interesting character design choice than the whole slick back look that we had before. Illustrious Foss, is the mission going well? I could see the unreadable look on Akvia's face. I'm very glad to hear it. What is this? I'm very glad to hear it, then I'll see you later as planned. Okay, so he's just checking up on us. I don't know what this dialogue is here, though. Anyway, weird. Oh, there's a nodding in the middle. Is the mission going well? Okay, I'm nodding in the brink of everything. I'm very glad to hear it. Blah, blah. Okay, is anybody going to notice that Foss was talking to the Lunarian or communicating there? Like, is Bortz nearby? Bortz was pretty switched on when it comes to combat and could probably differentiate real combat from fake combat. All right, either way, Foss jumps down, takes off the head, Sunspot goes. We did it! Foss saved the day. Very cool. Are you okay? I'll go get Rutiel. I think so. I think I'm okay. Yeah, fair enough. You fell into the sea when you came back too, but your powder didn't come off. I guess, okay, this would be something that's a little bit more recognizable. If there was color. Again, I'll stop talking about it. You're right. I totally didn't notice. It's not resin. It must be moon technology. Huh. That's incredible. Benito. Okay, is there something deeper within you to the point where you would like a resin that doesn't come off to permanently change one's look? Are you interested in the moon? Yeah, okay, so you found an inn for Benito as well. Very cool. Betsini? I wouldn't say interested. They are the enemy after all. Yeah. Oh, the gems are great. Some gems are like that. It's just... I mean, I'm pretty much the most normal of all of us, right? And the Lunarians are as abnormal as you can get, so I guess I kind of admire them. Okay, you see the limits of your normalcy and want to change. Again, this is kind of the basis of everybody's desire to go to the moon is to want change. And again, I feel like that's a bigger picture kind of thing about the whole concept of the piece of fiction almost, right? What is possessing these gems to want to change? Is it some semblance of their humanity? Why does the moon represent that? Why does going to the place where the soul resides represent that as well? It's kind of deep if you wanted to dig in there kind of further. And of course, in grander kind of Land of the Lustrous fashion, it seems to be based on some kind of, hopelessly romantic relationship as well. Nepti is, really weird, Nepti is really weird. See? We spend so much time together that I start to wonder, is there any point in being normal? And sometimes I lose all faith in myself. Okay, it's almost like lacking identity. Fair enough, okay. This is a really, honest admission from you, I would say, too. And again, Foss, information gathering. Don't tell Nepti, okay? I won't. And as the veil is pulled over the eyes as well, what are you plotting? Another one in my scheme, says Foss. Okay, then we're going to two different characters here. This is the one with the hair that always escapes me. Let's get a name here again. That's Euclase. Euclase, I don't need to look it up, I know. Uke. That's Uke. And are you talking to Green Barrel or somebody? Or is this the weapons person? I'll never know. I've noticed Lex is acting strange. I went to see why the gem hasn't emerged from the dorms, and found Lex staring into space, hair flashing different colors. I tried to say something, but I didn't get a response. Yeah. Sphene, Peridot, and Red Barrel have all been making uncharacteristic mistakes too. I've gotten reports that they're out of materials. Well, that's no good. Okay, so everyone's a bit shook up from this Foss stuff. And again, I didn't want to say it. You think it started when Foss came back? Yes, more specifically, when they started hearing Foss's stories. Don't you agree? Okay, so a couple of wiser, older heads here are a little bit onto Foss. They're like, is Foss cooking? But then, okay, and again, I want to keep bringing this up. Are people going to start to suspect the Eye a little bit more than actually just Foss, right? At what point is the inclusion taking control versus the actual person at the core of it, right? Which one will Foss's friends end up blaming? Very specific framing here too. Foss is almost becoming a little bit more of the teacher sensei type here, right? Again, elevation, telling the younger ones stories late at night, imparting knowledge. That's never really where Fosses came from, right? It's new areas for Foss. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah. It's like this like campfire kind of late night scary story type vibe. I wonder what this light is here as well. That's kind of fun. And then there was one last one, and I put it in my mouth, and it was kind of gooey and sticky. I wonder what it was. You put an unknown substance in your mouth? Ew, that's so gross. Bleh. This is all very sus out of context as well, but anyway, we're not gonna... It's also clearly the fucking... The moon goo that Prince was... Anyway. So what are you telling them about tonight? Alright, we're suspicious. We're walking on over. I'm glad to see that your memories are back, but if we don't all share the same information, imaginations will run in different directions and make gems nervous. Out of consideration for your health, Sensei says you don't need to report, but I wish you would tell us before giving random bits of information to everyone. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the fucking fun police are here to break up the party. We know you must be feeling uneasy too, Foss, and we're sorry. Bit of suspicion here. Foss recognizing said suspicion. Interesting. Don't stay up too late. We won't. I like the young gems. They're cute. Anyway. And then, again, okay, they're suspicious. So much, like, shadow half-face stuff. I think that's quite pronounced as a kind of visual idea in this segment of the story. The two sides of Foss. I knew Foss's stories were dangerous. They are? Foss never says if the moon is good or bad, so it's up to the listener to decide. They all start picturing the moon that works best for them. I remember another gem who always seemed to be testing us. Yes, it was Lapis Lazuli. Oh my god. I thought it was going to be. Is it something inherent to maybe the human condition that they're optimistic? Because again, I don't feel like I'm that way. If somebody just told me no context information about places, I don't know if I would assume that it's always positive. I don't know. Is Foss potentially presenting information to the point where somebody, like, two specific people to the point where it would be appealing to them? Potentially. And I think that's maybe what they're getting at. And again, if everybody was getting all the same information at the same time, would they have all the information and thus be a little bit more scared? And again, the most crucial information of them all is that, hey, everyone's getting grinded into fucking dust up there. Like, again. But Foss is also working on the assumption that the goal isn't the gems. So the gems are a side product of Sensei's lack of action. Or the things that happen to the gems is the side product there. The Lunarians don't actually hate the gems. It's a means to an end. So again, maybe Foss is justifying this like I am saving my friends in the long run, even if I hurt them in the short term. Anyway, Lapis. Lapis really was clever and kind, but in some ways that gem made me worry. It was like the genius had more fun satisfying intellectual curiosity than using any of that brilliance for the good of us all. Sound familiar? Yeah, again, have we lost the forest for the trees? Why do I continue to search for the answer and the truth and exposing people rather than considering what's good for all the people around me? Is this going to help people in the long run? Who would know? And it's only to be expected that Foss would inherit that quality along with Lapis's head, but I sense more to it than that. I have a crazy thought that's also very sad. Is the gem who came back from the moon really Foss? It's still really... Yeah, I mean, it is... It's still Foss. Foss has just changed over time with inclusions and the head and the arms and the legs and the everything. It still is Foss, but is it Foss? Okay, we're posing the Ship of Theseus question a little bit more in the narrative now. Half and half moon as well. I'm looking out for it now. The Lunarians say that the moon was part of our planet a very long time ago, but their landscape and way of life are so much different from ours. Then maybe if we had spent time on the moon, we would have had completely different personalities too. That could be 30. I mean 80. What? It doesn't really matter. Is this the fucking... Who are these little freaks again? The Amethyst twins? Yeah, they had their numbers. Is this what we're getting at here? I think so. Oh, wait, it actually does. What was the question? It doesn't really matter. Oh, wait, it actually does. Oh, another in. We've been together since birth, so it's scary to think about us being taken to the moon together. But what scares me most of all is the thought of being separated. Lately, I've been wondering if there's some safe way to practice being apart. I haven't told 80, though. I'll think of one. You will? Thank you. Okay, we got our next in with one of the Amethyst twins here, which, to be honest, my brain was telling me that the Amethyst twins were already taken away, but anyway, I must have been wrong there. You've found another in. One of the Amethyst twins wants to go to practice being apart, to face their own fears, to want to change, potentially, as well. It's all wrapped up in there. Oh! Insane reveal. You're actually hearing this entire time. Oh my god. So I wonder where that'll go. Is this anything? Do you want to be separated? Do you not want to be separated? How you consider this information going forward? It's all up in the air. Dia, Yellow, Rutiel, Lex, Sphene, Peridot, Red Barrel, Benito, Amethyst 33. I could definitely stand to work harder on some of them, but Yuke is onto me. I have to call it good. Okay, so you're basically not throwing in the towel, but you're saying, okay, these are my team. This is the team I'm going to work with. I could get more on side, but they're starting to suspect me. All right, it's time for me to execute. It's time for me to move. It's the final step. It's going and having a chat with Cinnabar, of course. With the end of our chapter here, suspicion. It certainly was the theme of the chapter, I guess. Foss acting sus and Yuke picking up on it. And it seems like the last chapter of this volume is going to be a conversation between Foss and Cinnabar. Chapter 61, Parting. Now, this could be twofold. It could be, one, I'm going to part from Cinnabar once again. I'm going to part from this Earth. We're going to move up to the moon with a bunch of us all together, which is very cool. Or it could be we're all parting together with Cinnabar, right? It could, again, the title leaves it up in the air if Cinnabar comes along or not. If I had to guess, I'm going to say that Cinnabar still isn't going to come along. And again, there's going to be regrets around that. And yeah, who are we doing this all for? What's the point of all of it? All these questions that I've been circling around on. And this is very interesting too. I have to stop reading ahead. Now it's happened. A gem has come back from the moon. You heard about that, huh? It turns out Sensei was a tool for humans. The revelation. Humans are creatures that existed in the past. Lunarians say that humans made Sensei to work for them. Okay, more to this fact of Cinnabar being special. Like the one gem I've singled out here to actually tell portion of the truth to. I think this is cute too. You heard about that, huh? Cute. How are you doing so far? Pause. Yeah, that figures. So just wait until I'm finished. We don't want to overwhelm poor Cinnabar here. Apparently, the Lunarians are trying to get Sensei to work as that tool, but unlike any of the tools we know, Sensei is sentient, as you are aware, and it's not going very well. They kidnap us to provoke Sensei. They're trying to force their tool to work, or to get to work by inspiring anger, slowly taking everything our leader loves. It's a lot to take in. Are you doing okay? These were big revelations, 10 chapters ago or so. I'm going back to the moon in 3 days. If we go to the moon by our own free choice, we'll shock Sensei's system like never before. And if we can make the Lunarian's wish come true, then I bet we'll be able to change in a big way too. Okay, so you see almost solving this Lunarian side quest as well as another method to overall change. There's something in here about us gems having pretty primitive technology that doesn't really evolve versus the evolving technology of the moon, and then tying that into that change theme. Okay, we can get access to new different technology and rebuild and grow and blah, 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 if we are able to get on side with the Lunarians as well, right? There is benefits moving forward to that kind of stuff. And we're pretty explicit this time. Come with me this time. The shock, obviously, the eye contact, the lovingness of it all, of course. Come with me and Dia and Yellow and the others. Okay, I feel like you're selling this less by including everybody else in the proposition too. I thought I was special. What do you mean you're going with everybody else? Ooh, and here we have it, folks. but I'd feel bad for Sensei. I'm not going. Okay. Yeah. Is this the slap in the face that you needed, maybe? What are we all doing this for? If you're doing this for... I feel like you needed to frame this differently for Cinnabar to be on side, as I've kind of gone into. You need to frame it like this is only something you can do, this is your job, and not include everybody else in the equation. It needs to be special to Cinnabar to get past this barrier. We must also remember the care that Sensei has had for Cinnabar in the past in trying to find a job for Cinnabar, trying to find a purpose, finding this kind of halfway solution with the night stuff. So again, I don't really want to betray Sensei as it stands right now and then just walking away. Alright, I'm not going to do that, says Cinnabar, and fucks off. Cinnabar has a strong set of internal morals, I guess. And again, that connection to Sensei that you have potentially forgotten about. Again, what are we doing this all for? Okay, now here we go. I'm gonna pursue again. That's so stupid. Sensei wasn't born the same way as us. We were never even related. We only follow that rockhead because we're not strong enough to fight back. Why should we have sympathy for that jerk? All Sensei did for us was drag us into this big war. Just a... Cinnabar, are you listening to me? Shut up! Not so loud when we're close by the school. You'll wake every gem up. Sorry. Okay, and then you go away again. But I'm not finished! Alright, that's a good bit of comedy too. Foss is obviously having an internal conversation here, right? This is less an external conversation between Cinnabar and Foss, and more Foss talking with New Foss a little bit. Like Foss is being presented with the question of why are we doing this, and then is coming back very emotionally with all these reasons as to why, but it seems like at some point we forgot the base level. Sensei cares for us, I'd feel bad for him. The emotional connection there. Maybe that's what Sensei's trying to get at with not pursuing somebody that's obviously suspicious as well. Either way, I'm not finished. The Lunarians only want Sensei. It has nothing to do with us. In fact, we're in danger. Just being close to Sensei. Goes to walk away again. Besides, the moon isn't all that bad. I've seen it. Everyone loves you. Even the Lunarians. You don't understand what it's like to be alone. Oh, okay. The Foss. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. I was like, who's talking here? Okay, the moon isn't all bad, I've seen it. No, you don't understand, I have more experience with meeting new people than you and being rejected. Everyone loves you, Foss. You don't understand what it's like to be me by my lonesome at night. You don't understand what it's like only really having a connection with Sensei and yourself, I guess, right? Those are only really the two other people in my life. I don't want to forsake one for the other. That's a bad proposition for me. So yes, it seems like, again, we're not going to be successful in finding that purpose for Cinnabar, in bringing Cinnabar along to the moon. Anyway, I'm going back to the moon before daybreak. What? I'm going back to the moon before daybreak. Okay, have you moved it forward again? Or is this all different nights? Okay, is this day, and then it's the next night, and then this is the next night, and then... Is that what we're talking about here, and days have actually passed? Sure. And this final convincing from Foss here as well. On the moon, they can stop the venom from coming out of you. Do you still want to stay? Okay. Interesting to see how you respond. I still want to stay. Okay. I thought that's where we would go too. How are you so sure as well? I guess they have technology and stuff, whatever. I feel like this is a larger conversation for Cinnabar in the narrative almost too. Like... Cinnabar's problem isn't going to be solved by shaving off Cinnabar's unique trait, right? It isn't going to be solved by taking the poison away. We need to embrace the poison in whatever we're going to do with Cinnabar. I feel like that's what we have to do. Because then the moral would be pretty bad if we went the other route, like shave off every unique part about you, even the toxic parts, and become normal. That's the only way to exist. That's a terrible moral. We need to find a way to use this, right? To integrate it. Anyway, doesn't work. Cinnabar's going to be by his lonesome, and we're going to part without Cinnabar. Anyway, Cinnabar, what happened? What do I do? Where did I go wrong? Never mind that. Are you moving on? There's no time. I can't consider this anymore. Again, even though it was the reason for everything to begin with. Okay, anyway, it seems like Dia's waking up Foss. Dia, shh. When the moon starts to sink towards the horizon. Okay, we're going around and telling Okay, this is the vibe. We're going around at night and telling everybody all this stuff. Okay, I thought that this was Dia waking up Foss, but no. Foss finds Dia and is like telling the same message to everybody. When the moon starts to sink towards the horizon, who do we have here again? Red Beryl, Yellow Diamond, Dia, Benito. Yeah, no, you're not Benito. You're Benito. Who are you then? Who the fuck? I don't know. Rutiel. Fucking. Who the hell are you? Sphene. It's Sphene and Peridot. Okay, I'm back on board. One half of the Amethyst and Alex. Okay. We got the team together. You must come to the Cape of Emptiness at that time. Now I just need... Okay, yeah, where's Cairngorm in all of this? Cairngorm's just been sleepy bye-bye the entire time. Yeah, that's one I really haven't thought about much, is Cairngorm. Cairngorm's not going to come along. Are you kidding me? There's no way Cairngorm comes along. No way at all. Cairngorm. I'm going back to the moon. Okay, take care. I want you to come with me. No. Please, 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 please. What? The annoyingness. Don't touch me, you'll hurt someone. And the fucking gold, too, it's all getting all fucking gooey everywhere. Are you serious? Yup. Can we come right back? Nope. Then seriously speaking, I can't. Somebody has to take winter duty. That's okay. Anyone can do winter duty once they get used to it. You seriously? 100 years of my life. Yeah. Oh, that's great. You're exactly like Lapis when you get like that. I hate it so much. Yeah, again, we know. Anyway. Okay, off we go. What? Now? Ugh, you're not giving me much of a choice, are you? Are you actually coming along? Okay, that's very surprising to me. Yep, we're all here. Or at least the most of us. What's this on... Alex is wearing some kind of blindfold or something. That's quite odd. Anyway. Gush. Our boy Cicada's here. This is Padparasha, I think? Yeah, let's go. And then this is the end. This is parting. Okay, we're off on our journey, everybody. And I think that's where we're ending, with a little bit of a remarque to end. Land of the Loungewear. Okay. A flowing dress here or something. Why do you always make me wear this stuff just to sleep in? Just to sleep in? I said nothing. There. Happy? Don't look at me like that. You put it on me. You do this every year. It hurts my feelings. What, you don't think it looks right? I think you look positively dashing. If I can zoom correctly. Kinda. Kinda not really. I don't know. I'm having too much fun zooming. Oh, sorry, it's not what you think. It's just, without Ghost, you're a little smaller than everyone else, you know? So it takes a different concept and balance. It's not exactly easy. But I super love the challenge. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Okay, and then we make the addition of some wings. Okay. I can't sleep in. You can and you will. Okay, that's adorable. That's great. We have some translation notes here. Care for a bite. While the consequences of Foss's actions here remain to be seen, myths and legends from all over the world have it that eating food from the land of the dead seals the diner's fate, preventing them from ever returning to the land of the living. In Japanese mythology, the practice is called yomosuhegui. Nailed it. Meaning eating from the kitchen of Yomi. The most famous figure to have done this was Izanami, the mother of Japanese deities, who was unable to return with her husband and thence became the queen of Yomi, the underworld. Yeah, it really is a, can't turn back moment for Foss, for sure. And I'm liking there's that kind of mythological connection there. Okay, this is interesting. Hexagonal diamond, which is what adamant is made out of apparently, is, first discovered in meteorites, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's significantly harder than regular diamonds. This is must be the hardest element almost, It's interesting that science is trying to replicate this thing, and while impurities will still reduce the hardness of the mineral, have we been able to scientifically produce a pure hexagonal diamond? Is that what I'm getting at here? Are we unable to do that in the same way that the Lunarians are unable to synthesize that? Yeah, interesting. This is a larger question about what a synthetic gem versus a real one even is. If they have the same, chemical makeup, you can't really tell them apart, then what's the difference there? Is it a soul? Is it being born naturally? What is a clone in that regard? All sorts of interesting existential questions, I guess. And yeah, Lunarian fashion, Congo is wearing Japanese Buddhist monk garb. Therefore, when the Lunarians show up to Earth, they take the form of Buddhas and Buddhist stuff. Makes sense, obviously. Oh, there's more. Cicada, yeah, China, cicadas represent rebirth because of their life cycle. Yeah, okay, because he keeps coming back and back and back. Makes sense, I guess. They're also tiny little bugs, so I don't know if it works for such a wham guy. Somebody that's so huge, you know. Okay, 49 days. Apparently this has some connection to Buddhism, death and reincarnation as well. That's cool. It's like I'm reading a YouTube comment right here at the very end. I don't really understand this one. Waiting to see if I'll sink myself. Oh, is that... Yeah, Sensei's waiting to see if I'll sink myself. The Japanese word for this is oyogaseru, which literally means to let swim. Okay, I'm just letting Foss be, basically, and seeing if Foss will make a mistake and fuck up. Oh, and then, okay, we're making a connection between the rabbit ears or the bow there and the moon, obviously. There's that kind of Japanese moon-rabbit connection in a lot of things, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, according to Japanese tradition, the moon is home to rabbits. Yeah, okay, sure, fair enough. I was always wondering what that connection was. What is this? What am I looking at there? Odd. I don't know what that is. Okay, some more art there too, for you sickos. Very cool. It's like the inside cover of the manga, I guess. And then ads. Ads. More ads. Apparently there was some tribute to Katsuhiro Otomo. Sure. Okay, man. And yeah, we'll call it there, obviously. This is obviously a long video. But hopefully it was worth it. And we've gotten a bit of a wriggle on, which was the goal, obviously. So now it's time to edit this and get it uploaded and stuff. So, all right. That was fun. Obviously, we'll go to the moon and we'll figure out what's going on from there. Would love to hear from you, YouTube comments-wise, of course. And yeah, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. See you later. Goodbye.